Shalom from Israel. We are on Shaar Hagilgulim number 7. Reminds me of when I was in high school. After the football games, we'd go to Taco Bell, all packed in the back of a pickup truck. And there was a guy who worked the drive-thru. And he'd say, "Welcome to Taco Bell. Would you like to try one of our new ranchero burritos today?" One of those things I'll never forget. So here we go. Good to see Justin B. Good to see Loretta 1R. Here we go. Bottom of page 16. I think we settled on Shaar Hagilgulim. We did our little experiment of Sefer Hagilgulim. And I don't know about you, Loretta 1R. I've settled on Shaar Hagilgulim. How about you? I just think it's a little bit more refined and Gilgulish. And Sefer Hagilgulim was going Kabbalistic, proper, which it's just not what we're here to do. Maybe another class, another time, another whatever, but not right now. So, bottom of page 16. Oh, yes, Tom Shaney, El Mashin is Bayer La'el, Ke'inyan Achiluk Sheyesh Bein Ha'asiyah El Shaar Ha'olamis, Vehu Ki Noide Ki Kol Ha'olamis Hein Klaus Eshes Firis Bilvad. There's another reason to what we explained above of the matter, the difference between Asiya, the lowest world, to the rest of the upper worlds. As it is known that all the worlds, they are included in 10 spherite. 10 spheres are the highest emanation where light enters into our world into powers of identifiable 10. Can you imagine that, Justin B? When you walk in the bank and your eyes are like Neo. Remember Neo? Why do my eyes hurt? I never used them before. So when you're waking up in your new reality of God providence placed upon you and you are trapped in moron man mode, it's foggy for you like a newborn child. Are you foggy, Justin B, when you walk into the bank? Say yes, type 1. But the security guard is not foggy, is he? He's doing his job. He sees you coming a mile away. Type 1 again. So he's not moron man mode. You don't even know that there's going to be a security guard there, right? So you are highly compromised. So when you walk into your scenario, do you change the reality of the bank? Type 1, you do. So in the bank, you're walking in, you're changing our lives, but you are more changed than we are. 10 powers will erupt at that moment. Let's just call it God's crown, God's wisdom, God's understanding, kindness, might, beauty, victory, majesty, foundation, and kingdom, right? It just works out that way. So 10 powers erupt in the bank, and God's providence declares what those powers are. From those powers, they will influence, like the Amazon River, channels of Shefa until eventually the glory of God fills the bank. You cop that? But it's according to your mazel. So if you're going to be there, you're for 5 minutes. And remember, there's multiple dimensions of realities going on. The mother with the crying baby, maybe, she's single, right? So she may be considered a potential date. She might be considered an annoyance with the baby. She might be considered in my way. She might be considered someone nice to talk to, pleasurable to look at, offensive. Can you guys imagine that? Just a regular woman with a crying baby, and everyone's reality has the liberty to take her as God declares her to be. right? She might not be a great mother. Shut that baby up. She might be a wonderful wife to be. She might be a great former employee of the bank, and she's there to help. But you're moron man, so you don't even know. So you are reliant on the 10 powers above to enlighten you. Now, let's say Loretta 1R, you're in the bank with this woman, and you're a good mother, and she's not. So you're thinking you're a bad mother to her, right? Type 1. And you're working on this, and you don't know what to do. You just want to put $5 in your account, but you're really bothered by this woman's neglect. Now, let's say God says, Loretta 1R, you are wrong, and I'm giving you this experience because you were watching a TV show last night that made you think, is it right for parents to neglect their children when they're babies in strollers? Remember you watched that show last night? And you weren't even thinking about it. And God said, look, Loretta, I made you watch that show because I care about you. And you're so much in moron man mode, you don't even realize that I'm giving you the answer to the TV show that had practically had you in tears all night. Remember that? You are so self-absorbed, you are thinking it's about you and the baby and your $5. The challenge is for you to break the ego and receive the powers of 10. Now, let's say she's Malchus. That woman's Malchus, right? So then there's the foundation and all the levels of emanation, all 9 levels above her are going to unify, congeal into what is called a hashpah, an influence that is on you, like sticks on you. Now it's called a situation. Now it's called a reality. Just like, when you walk into a room and it's hot outside in the air conditioner and then it gets an equilibrium in the room, you're no longer sweating or cold and just kind of there, room temperature. Once you gain room temperature, you've accepted your fate that you have to wait in the queue. You're next to the annoying woman. The security guard's grilling you. But it's all basically, I'm giving you what to think about, Loretta 1R. Are you going to fight God or not? If you go with it, you'll start to realize it. The divine providence is there. And let's say, whatever it is, the way for you to get your wisdom of this riddle you're trying to solve is a matter of you receiving the light from the 10 Sefirot as it comes into this world. You got that? Then there's something called Jews and Gerim in the world, and it's their job to be a light to nations, meaning if you, Loretta 1R, are watching this scenario unfold on somebody else, and if you can help spread the light or intensify the light, then you have an obligation. So you were the next person in the queue, and you just realized you had to go buy groceries and you don't have time to wait, right? Why don't you give your number to the woman with the crying baby? Isn't it better to get her out of there? I mean, do you think she wants to be there, woman with the crying baby? So maybe you should do a mitzvah, a kind deed, and say, hey, look, I got to go in and buy groceries. Here's my number. And people will say, you can't do that. Loretta 1R, you're a cheater. We're waiting for 5 hours here, and she just got here. Say, that's none of your business. I'm giving her my number. So then the woman with the crying baby gets up, and she goes in the queue. Everyone is happy that the crying baby's out. The crying baby's happy that it gets food. The woman's happy that she's out of the stress. And now the next emanation can come into the bank, and we all forgot about the crying baby and Loretta 1R, and there's another situation that another 10 Sefirot have to deal with. Type 1. What do you think about that? You guys with me? What do you think about that? So that is what I just gave over is so futile. So futile. I got to make a note on that. Hold on a second. Okay. It's so futile because, well, yeah, there's so many things of realities you could tune into. If there's 30 people in the bank and each person, let's just say, has like 10 different scenarios to focus on, right? Let's look at Loretta 1R. She's got to get groceries, so she's a bit impatient. She got a stain on her shirt at lunch, so she's a little self-conscious. The worker there yelled at her last time, a little self-conscious. A friend of hers that she hasn't seen in a little while is there. It's a good moment. Yada, yada, yada. So, Loretta, which one is it going to be? It's like Russian roulette, right? Which thing are we going to work on? And the real answer is I'm lying to you because it's Ein Sof. There's no limit to how many things of wisdom you can actually point out. You weren't even aware that I was laughing at you, Loretta 1R, because your hair was a different hairstyle than I like. So now I'm making you self-conscious in ways you don't even know. It just comes off as a bad vibe. But maybe, the person who's laughing at your hairstyle is saying, I secretly like that hairstyle in a woman, but I never thought to give a compliment because I have my own issues to worry about. You see how social pressures just build? I don't know if you guys are listening to my temple series, but it's the intensity of the light built up in the vessel, right? And it's all these different things, the goods, the bads, the chasadim, the gevuras, the insecurities, the strengths, the confidence, the bads, and it's all packed in one experience. We call that, hey, how you feeling today? Pretty much good or bad, right? I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling not so okay. It's so complicated, and it's basically up to you in your relationship to God, which daya are you going to take in the bank? Why do you care about some guy laughing about your hairstyle? That is the least of your worries. The guy doesn't know from borscht, right? He laughs at clowns. He's an idiot, right? But there's your job is to have the best experience you can possibly have. Now God will test you. The crying baby's there. The groceries are there. The husband's calling. So you're going to have pressure. It's not going to be bliss. But remember, right, embrace the fog and find out why you're there. Whatever, and the real answer is, if you listen to my Chukas Shir on the Ramdu, whatever you decide, God will agree with you in the end. That's all it is. Whatever you decide, what the lesson was, the only reason why you think it's coming from you, from ego, is because God lets you decide it. But it is God giving it to you. You just got to talk yourself out of the fact that it was you that decided it. It was God. So the world of Asiya, the dirty bank, I can see we're going to be using this analogy for this class a lot. The dirty bank is only one sphere, the sphere of Malchus. So when we're in the bank and it's powers of 10, really it's just Malchus, and Malchus has 10 powers in it. Keter of Malchus, wisdom of Malchus, right? Therefore, the nefesh Hashem Yisham Yechul Lalus Hi Atzma Keser Dasiya Ki Akol Sfira Chos. So you're walking in the bank. Let's call the security guard is Malchus of Malchus. Correct, Mundo? He's the first guy you got to see. Then it's the guy you got to trip over to get the number is Yesod of Malchus. So what are you learning here? Patience, right? Then there's Hod of Malchus. To get in line, you got to navigate and weave a little bit. Then there's Netzach, victory. You got to actually push someone out. She's trying to cut in front of you. Hey, not my dime, lady. Got things to do. Tiferes. You got to apologize now, Loretta 1R. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap at you. I got my number. Back off. Gevura, which you just did when you said back off. Chesed. Don't stare at her. Don't be aggressive, Loretta 1R. Let her go. Okay. Patient. We're patient. Bina, I understand. She's not from around here. I noticed the Russian accent. Russians are a little bit aggressive here. Okay, I understand it. Wisdom, Rabbi Katz said to embrace the fog. Keter, I'm here to learn patience. Now I'm at the teller. She says, oh, hold on 1 second. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. And she's really not doing anything behind the counter. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. Then she gets a phone call and you're still waiting. Having fun yet, Loretta 1R? She's ignoring you. Oh, she broke a fingernail. Isn't that too bad? Now she says 1 second, I've got to go to the bathroom. And you know what? At the end of the day, she comes back, whatever it is, you're there, you put your $5 in, and you leave. Loretta 1R, did you learn patience? Yes, you did. Type 1. So you the security guard tipped you off. You have to get to Keter, the highest level of Asiya, right? But you have to sanctify it. So you got to chop that you're going into patience land. And when you leave the bank and you're meditating, you will have so much mazel and wisdom all around you in very refined vessels that you should have had a proper learning exchange with God of patience. Whatever it is. You got me a 1 or 2 over there. And then you'll realize the reason why it was patience, why you had the mazel that the security guard gave you the hard time and nobody else. Because you'll realize your mazel is always patience, right? I'm always the one they grill. I'm always the one they push out of line. And then you say, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. It's not woe is me. It's just, why does God want me to learn patience? Because that's where your bracha is, right? Let's say your mitzvah is waiting till Shabbos goes out in the proper time to make Havdalah, right? You got to wait till one thing passes before you get on another. You can't make the bus come before it's time. Type 1. So what you do is you bring a book to the bus stop, don't you? You sit down on the bench, read the book, even though it's 3 minutes till the bus comes. Otherwise, you're just sitting there staring at your watch, cursing out the world. You cop this? Avala Yitzira, he bechinas sheish sfiras chagas nahi genoide. So the world of Yetzirah is 6 spheres, as in classical Kabbalah. V'heim bechinas nifrada Yisroi mezoi l'chein misha shirashoi mimalchis di Yetzirah afal pisha nitkan ein yochul la'alos l'chlal la'avul la'mayla v'yesoi di Yetzirah l'chein sorry shiyasher l'mada v'yagena ruach chadash min yesoi di Yetzirah. Im yirtzela alu shara yidei ma'isiv tayvim v'chein al derek ze b'shar sheish kitzava yishbi Yetzirah kenizcha. The only way you get to Yetzirah is through Yesod of Yetzirah, getting a ruach, right? It's all the proper levels, right? Zeran Pin, Yetzirah, Ruach, all the different schools unite in an alignment. But you're in the lowest world of Malchus, Loretta 1R. So you don't get to go to Yetzirah, right? You got the Keter of Asiya. You figured out those patience and getting out of Shabbos on time. So now you need to figure out what is your Ruach in that upper world. So you don't even know that there is an upper world, but you got to break in there. You're so absorbed in the bank and the security guard. I call this first thought. You got to break into a new thinking above Malchus, even in the next world, because Keter of Asiya is Malchus of Yetzirah, and it's a neutral zone. There's nothing there, because it starts with Ruach or Yesod in the next world. So now you got to discover a higher dimension. Whatever, see what I'm saying? You're in a two-dimensional flatlander world. You need to discover this entity called the bank. You just think it's about you, borings, people, security guards that are rude, and give me my money. Let me put my money in, right? There's another dimension, because this is part of your life and you do these things. You need to crack the code of what is waiting for you in the higher dimension. And that goes all the way up. All the way up. You always have to figure out what is beyond you once you've done your tikkun. You guys with me on a 1 or a 2 over here? Duh. Key. Oh, by the way, it says through Maisim Taivim. Through good deeds, you'll go up, by the way. That's the ticket. Through good deeds, you will crack those codes. So that's the secret. The secret is there's a good deed waiting for you. Remember, give the woman, the pregnant woman, or the woman with the baby, the ticket, right? You need to get your groceries done. You need the emis, and you need to give her the ticket. Do the good deed, and you'll figure it out. It'll unlock the code. Daki kamosh in his bio etzleinu shebekol oilam va'oilam yesh chamisha partzufim erechan pin aba ima zeir nukve kach yesh kenegdam chamesh bechinas b'neshomes ha'adam ve'hem meseder zemi mardel mayla nevish ruach neshama ve'achid ve'hine ya nefesh himen nukve de zeran ve'ruach mizeran neshama mi'ima chaya mi'aba shu chochma ki shama koma chayim kenoide besod ve'chochma tachiev baile ve'yachida mi'erechan b'nikra keser lefi shehu yachim yuchid b'kol shara sfiris she'in lo nekeva kenoide me'pasuk ra'u ha'eta ki anayanihu ha'nidrash b'sefer zoya be'parshas Bereshis. He's saying everything I just said, right? He's just telling you the system. Very key Arizal here. Everyone say it along with me. Ready? Malchus, Nefesh, Nukva. Got it? Asiya, Nefesh, Nukva, Malchus. Who knows what's next? Yetzira, Zeron, Pin, Ruach. Got it? Then you have the next world. Bria, Neshama, Ima. Got it? It's a perfect system. The 5 partsufim, the 5 worlds, 5 parts of the soul. Chap? Kenalo. You guys chap and shot here? All right. But we have a problem. We have a problem. One second. Let's talk about the level of wisdom is Abba, Etzilis, Chaya, because there's the place of life. Whoa, wow. You hear that, Pshat? Did you guys hear that just click in the brain? Did you guys hear that click? I heard a click. Did you hear a click? Justin B., did you hear a click? The click is, he said, wisdom, Abba, Chaya, Etzilis is the place of life. Are we describing the life of the bank? We are. We are. So until you understand wisdom, you're really not appreciating the life of the bank. You are so egotistical, it's only about you. But think about it. There's a security guard there paying the bills. He has to go to work every day and sit at that table, right? Imagine the tsar, the life of everybody in there. Can you guys imagine that for a second? Just stop. Think about your life. You're at the door going into the bank. You hop? Type 1. You got 1 on me? You guys type 1? Now, think about the security guard, and once you've done that, type 1. Think about his little world. Now think about the cleaning girl. It's got to vacuum the carpet, keep it all straight. Think about her. Type 1 after all these things. Now the coffee guy. The guy who actually delivers the coffee at 8 in the morning to the girls at the bank once a week. Think about him. And think about their conversations. Hi, Bob. How are you? Hi, Linda. Here's your Folgers coffee. Oh, Bob, that's so good. I drink so much coffee, I don't know what to do with myself. Huh, me too. And to think it all comes for free. What's Steve the security guard doing? Oh, I don't know. He comes in late. He's always coming in late, but that's Steve. Then the manager comes, can we get to busy here? Can we get to work? We got things to do. That's Brian. Brian's always on time. His shirt's tucked in, shirt's pressed. Brian secretly likes Bob, but he's a little bit against Steve, and he's somewhat friendly with Linda. Now, imagine their families. Imagine Bob, Steve, Linda, and Brian's spouses and their kids and their upbringing and the people that hired them and the guy that built the building. Again, it becomes super Ein Sof. Why do you care about your stupid groceries, Loretta, with one R? Why? Look what you're missing. You're missing out on Steve's drama. The point is that you're incompassionate. You're thinking about your groceries. When you get into life, Steve's problems will go away. Forget about your groceries, forget about Steve and the kids. The bottom line is you're all signing a contract with heaven at that moment to appreciate and share life. You don't need to be Klippa and formula and put your head down and don't cause trouble and don't ask questions and get out of my life. Like the guy in the Matrix Part 2, right? The loading or Part 3 or Part 2, whatever it was, with the loading construct. Like, get off my train. Remember that guy, Justin Me? Get off my train. You know, you're allowed to be alive. You're Neo. When you're Neo, I'll be Neo. When we're all Neo, now it's where the Ger comes to life. How many of you saw my thing about Best Buy and the Ger from Rod's Place last year? That's where the Ger comes to life. He's in there. He's in there. The life is in the bank. But you have to get to that level of Abba, Chachma, Tzilus, Chaya. Anything short of that, you're sniffing life, you're approaching life, you're thinking about life, you're wanting life, but you're not living life. It's the backside, bottom worlds, tree of knowledge of good and evil. You guys want to live life? One or two. You want to live life? You want to live dangerously? Who wants to live dangerously? Because we're going to look up the verse. The Rizal gives the verse. V'sod v'chochma d'chaya baile. Koheles 7:12. Ecclesiastes 7:12. Is that what it says? 7:12? 7:12. All right, you guys want to know what it says in 7:12? If we're right, and I'm not claiming to be right, that's not my job. I'm hoping it is right. We should see in this verse, what do you think, Justin B? We should see in this verse, if we're right, the essence of life and wisdom. Is that a far-fetched statement? It's the Rizal says it's here. Who might argue? Ki b'tzel ha'chochma b'tzel ha'kesef vayisran das ha'chochma t'chaya ba'aleha. Let me just get a layman translation. 7:12. Okay. Is that right? Oh, a Mishlei. Sorry, excuse me. Excusez-moi. Wrong book. 7:12. Ecclesiastes 7:12. For to sit in the shelter of wisdom, ki b'tzal ha'chochma. It's not sit. Bad translation. Bad. Ki b'tzal ha'chochma, from the shadow of wisdom. Bitzala Kesef is to sit in the is to be in the shadow of silver. And the prophet, the Yisron Dasa Chachma, knowing wisdom. And he had, wait. And the advantage of knowledge is that the Yisron Das. I'm sorry, the Yisron Das, the prophet of knowing Das, is that wisdom preserves the life of its possessors. The Yisron Das HaChachma Techaya Baleya, wisdom enlivens its master. Is that a fantastic verse or what? When you're in the shadow of wisdom, you are in the shadow of silver. It's like, what do you call that? Oh man, what do you call that when you make gold? What's that called? It starts with an A. Isn't it an A? What's that called? Alchemy, yeah. If you find wisdom in the shade, just like we say B'Tzalel, the shade of God, right? You'll be in the shade of silver. You will find your shefa. You'll find the mazel. You'll find your parnasa. In the prophet, that's the Karen. It'll take care of your needs. But the prophet, as in financial profit, is knowledge, das, awareness. Your mind is erupt and godless. It's not moron man. All right? You are alert. That's from the prophet of the money. The wisdom will enliven its master. Is that a great verse or what? If you can't get into that, I feel sorry for you. That's good stuff. I like how with the Arizal you can just isolate this stuff and it pops up. Isn't that cool? You just isolate it. Just, focus everything out, isolate, and it pops up. Rashi. Ki b'tzala chochma b'tzala kesef. Kol mishi yeshno b'tzala chochma yeshno b'tzala kesef shal chochma goremes la'oisha shiyavai. Yisron das chochma dirim arle v'ola chochma yisera al kesef shal. All right, Rashi says pshat. We got pshat. Sforno. Ki amna b'chochma b'nhaga medinis t'chiyi v'ayli b'tzal chochma una b'tzal zlich. Same kind of thing. Chuyse b'tzal chochma hu ki'ilu yachasa b'tzal kesef l'fami yochel adam l'chalkil atzmo. Yeah. I like it. The Rizal is such an easy commentator, is he not? Is the Rizal not the simplest you've ever saw? Seriously, once you isolate what he's doing, he is giving you really nice pshat. Really nice pshat. Very nice. So, I would say again, but the Rizal is giving you Lafi Pshuto, which is the obvious answer, right? He's making it extremely obvious. But the Chiddush, the Sod, that's called life, right? Life is when you know to sit in the shade to find wisdom, and you will find finances there, and the profit left over will illuminate your mind that you should enliven the master of that, the possessor of that. So when you go to the bank, sit in the shade of wisdom. Look for wisdom. I guess it's apropos. We're talking about a bank. You'll find silver. Then your mind is there, and you will come to life. And Keter doesn't have a female component. That's why it's the most unique. Remember that the security guard in our little scheme here doesn't have a mate. Okay? You're not going to be female security guard. He doesn't need help. And he gets it from Devarim. The pasuk Ra'u ita ki ani anihu. And you should say Rezayev Harshis Gracious. So let's look that one up now too. Dvarim 32:39. This is the source of Keter. You realize what the implication of what I just said is? Do you realize the implication of what I just said? The reason I was saying this is the source of Keter. That is a that is a big deal. If he's right, and we're going to close on this note, then we found Keter in the Torah. 32:39. Ready for that? Before we go to our Mazel class. 32:39. 32:39. As we look in the Torah Kedoshah, Re'u ata ki ani hu ve'ein Elohim imadi ani amit v'achayim echatzti v'ani irpe ve'im miyadi matzil. What are we talking about? I gotta look that up just to see what we're doing. 32:39. 32:39. It's Hazinu. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, all right. Poetic. See now, Re'u ata, that I, ki ani, anihu, I am him. Ve'ein Elohim imadi, there's no God with me. I put to death, ani amit, v'achiyeh, and I enliven. I struck down, machatzti v'ani arapa, and I heal. There's no rescuer from my hand, miyadi matzil. So God is alone. Therefore, God works with Keter. So therefore, we can see what is the function of Keter. Ready? See now. Loretta 1R, why were you allowed to see in the bank? Because God said through Keter, see now. When you saw the security guard, he basically said to you, alone, see now. Ki ani, anihu. It's almost like a love story, right? Loretta with 1R comes to the bank. She sees the security guard. I'm saying it's a love story, Loretta. There he is, the security guard from afar. He says, there she is, with all her money and glory, coming into my bank. She says, will he let me in? He says, come through the metal detector. It is me. I am him. Ve'ein Elohim imadi. There's no other ruler of this bank with me. I am entrusted. You see how he takes on the drama of Keter? Is it not beautiful? And I'm being absolutely serious. This guy is so dedicated. God made him the Keter of the bank. He says, I am Elohim. I am the judge of the bank. I put to death and I resuscitate. If you steal from me, I will kill you. If you walk through those gates, I will bless you. I strike his head. If a terrorist comes in, I'll kill him. I will heal. The pregnant woman gives birth. I will actually try to deliver that baby. And no one escapes from my hand. Did this not work perfect? Come on, you got to give a round of applause on that one. Right? The security guard, the 10 Sfirot, he fits the drama. Shira. So you know what Shira Shirim is? What is Shira Shirim? Song of Songs. This is going to be my claim to fame. Ready for this? Shira Shirim is Solomon's song of Keter. It is the Keter of all Keter. Everyone who's a Keter in every situation says, Song of Songs that are to Solomon. The king brought me into his chamber. You know what? Let's test it. Let's stop being stupid. Let's test it. Ready? Let's see if our security guard is truly the Song of Songs. Ready? I bet you it is. I bet you it is. The song that excels. You know what? Let's do it in Hebrew. English is a little schwach. Song of Songs that are to Solomon. You can say, don't read Solomon, but rather to the King of Peace. He kissed me with the kisses of his mouth, for your bosom is better than wine. The wonderful scent is better than the oil of it. My point is, you see it works. It is a highly romantic Keter experience of the soul of Loretta going to the bank with the security guard. If you think into life enough, all the different Ein Sof of life, it really is that romantic. There is no other. You are the female to his Keter, but you're not essentially part of it. He is there to greet and receive everybody, and that is the goal and job of being Keter. Loretta, go to work, do what you need to do. I'm here with Justin B., and we're going to do some mazel work. And please remind me where we picked up, okay? Let me just tell you where we picked up. Tell me to start at the bottom of 18, if you don't mind. Justin B., you with me? Justin B., are you with me? All right. Oh, yeah, we did the whole shoot, though. That worked out really good. That was a really good one. What is this? All right, I guess we can do this. There we go. So one increases and one decreases. Shinaino Gemara. All right, let's go into Aramaic over there. Here's the biur. Here's the explanation. Regil aya b'peyim shachochamim shirav neleim. It was regular in the mouths of the rabbis in Yavna Yeshiva to say, Ani loimed Torah, I learned Torah v'chavarei ha'oisik b'malacha cheres, but my chavrusa, my learning partner, he works and shovels coal. Ani maskin l'malachti, I agree with my work, I allow it, accept it. V'avhu maskin l'malachtoi, I learn and I work, and he learns and works. Kishem shehu eino mizgeder b'malachti ve'einu oisik ba'kach ani eino mizgeder ve'oisik b'malachto shelo. Shem adava ani mar b'laisi v'toiv v'hu v'maya lechen ani gadu v'mena lechak sheneino echad amar b'chad v'maya v'lav v'shayich v'lev shemayim. I am better than you because I learn and work, and I learn more Torah than you, and you're lesser than me because you work and you learn, but you learn less than me, right? We all see this in the world, don't we? Why is it that I work and I make $30,000 a year, and you work and make $150,000 a year, and I think I work harder than Justin B? So how could it be that everyone has all these different ratios, and then the Talmud Torah aspect, the learning Torah that comes out of it? Justin B, do you hear the question? Why do I have to suffer my lot in life, and why do you suffer yours, and are you higher than me, or am I higher than you? Type 1. Hello. Hello. All right, here we go. Rashi explains there that the din with him, Shana was got him a lot, Shailu Hayat Hovis Omunas Shali, Ohio Level Beduach, Loravas Udaira, came on you see Hayam and Maya Aino Scar, Shanano Shias Scar, the Maya Kamo Abba. I think basically that's all he's saying. It's just it's a mazel issue. Just a mazel issue. Hold on. Maybe you should say that the din is with him, that he's not mizgeder b'malachti. See, you are worse than me because you're not doing my job. Because if you would do my job, Justin B, you would not have an open heart to increase the Torah, like I would. See, I work differently than you, and it allows me to learn more Torah. But you're not good enough to do my job. So if you were to do my job, you would not even learn the Torah that I learned. And therefore, it was lesser by you, and you don't have reward. What he's trying to say, in kind of crass and coarse tactical ways of saying, I'm built for my job, and you're not built for my job. See, I'm a professional baseball player, so I have a lot of time in between to do what I do. I hate to break the news to you, Justin B., but you're not a professional baseball player like me. And if you were, so you have a bad back, you would throw your back out, and then you would never learn Torah ever again. For me, I have a super back, so it's good work, and the fringe benefit is I get to learn Torah. Type 1. We're not talking about the Amaretz. We're not saying, I learn more, I'm better than you, you're just a lowlife. We're not saying that. We're saying Isik Mayit B'Torah Kafi Pesach Libo. We're talking about whoever's involved and his Torah is lessened according to the opening of his heart, that he's not able to increase. Don't just say the guy hates Torah. He literally cannot increase his Torah. We're both healthy guys. Not everyone's built to be a wise man. The angel of your birth says you'll either be wise or not so wise. He doesn't have the virtues to elevate his learning. I have to be running around Meshuggah in my life. Let's say I'm a vendor or whatever. I just don't have time. You're a learned man, a psychiatrist. Therefore, you have an office and all these things. I don't have that. I can't lay on this couch and just, smoke a pipe and say, wow, that's a fascinating discovery. I don't have that. I'm a blue-collar worker. So the angel dictates who's going to get those things, and it just so happens that learning Torah is in that camp of jurisdiction. Okay, so that is that aspect. Chacham hu b'Torah b'Chim came hagra b'Kol Eliyahu parshashoyti kol abasim v'lo tila shoychi v'hinei v'chol makam hanu b'Torah b'Chim hanu b'Milei Alma. Okay, wait. If this is the gra, what does he say there? Chacham hu b'Torah pike. What is a sage? What is a wise man? Someone in Torah. V'pikeyach b'Milei da Alma. A man with his faculties are in matters and words of the world. So says the Gra in Kol Eliyahu, Parsha Shoftim, al pasuk, v'lo tikach shochad. Don't take a bribe. Hine b'kol makom l'ksih chachmeinu, hainu b'Torah. The wise men are in Torah. V'keichim hainu mili da alma. Man of faculty is the 7 wisdoms, and a chacham, a sage, is in Torah. All right? I think that's going to do it for another day in the world of Mazel. Thank you for listening. Be well. And God willing, next week we will continue on this journey of Kabbalah, Mazel, Bruche, Hatzluche, and Schus Gadol. Take care. Be well. Thank you.